Alrighty, welcome back to another video on the Crew 2 closed beta. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing to you some changes that have been done with, well actually first off I'll show you the features that you can do in the HQ while you're walking around. So first off, as you can see here, I got this McLaren 12C which looks really nice in this game. For some reason I don't know why it's actually in hypercar class, but I don't know why they did that. I feel that it should be more in street racer spec, but whatever, I guess they can do whatever they want with that. But in this case, you can do a lot of stuff here in the HQ with your vehicles. You can turn the lights on if you want from both the front or the rear. As you can see, the white tail lights are fixed with the McLaren 12C, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, about improvements with the cars and bikes they've done. And of course in here as well, you can also open up the doors. I'll open up the driver's side door to show you guys that it works. Open up the passenger side door. Of course, you can also roll down the windows. I don't really see a point in doing that, but it's there if you want to do it. And you can also sit in the passenger seat. I mean, look at that. This is pretty cool. Sitting in a passenger seat. Maybe they'll do like a co-op type system with this game as well in the future. But yeah, pretty cool little feature. Of course, you can also get into the driver's seat. This is like test drive-esque right here. As you can see, you can also start up the engine. You can turn the wiper on in here as well, so you can see how the wiper works on the vehicle for reasons unknown. You can honk the horn. And from here, you can also test drive the vehicle as well. As you can hear, it sounds pretty nice. It sounds pretty realistic. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but it's much better than what it was before. As you can see, one of the improvements they did with the McLaren 12C besides fixing the white tail lights is they actually now have working digital parts of the gauges on the car. So as you can see, the gear indicator works, the speedometer works, it displays in kilometers per hour for some reason. And I think there's also, whoops, my car's more expensive than yours, bro, so it doesn't really matter if yours is told. But yeah, there's also a clock in here as well. There's, I think, also an odometer as well. You can't really see that though all that much. This car also had a weird bug with it before, where the paddle shifters were now mounted to the steering wheel, which they should be like in real life. The real 12C has the paddle shifters mounted on the steering wheel, but for some reason they were anchored to the steering column. I told them about that and they fixed it. Ooh, that's a pretty cool looking view. You can see the spoiler working, and my test drive thing just ended. But yeah, all the doors closed. What the heck? That's weird. But as you can see, here's the drag cars. I believe the drag cars are about the same as they were before. The drift cars, I've heard, are actually a lot better than what they were before. And, of course, cool here as well. You can turn the lights on, and the pop-up headlights come on, which is pretty cool, actually. So, looking at the Camaro ZL1 here as well, let's actually take it for a test drive. If you actually watched, like, the E3 gameplay videos before, this car didn't actually have a working digital gauge in the car. So, in this build, they actually fixed that. There's actually a working digital speed radar out now in the center, which is pretty cool. As you can see, the car looks good, the car sounds good. I don't know how well you can hear that. I'll shut up for a minute. But yeah, and of course, before you say the car has paddle shifters but he's using the manual animation, this car actually has it like that. It has rev matching, you can turn on and off with the paddle shifters. But yeah, the other issue with this car is that it had the white taillights issue. The brake lights that you see there were white before, but now they're not, they're red. I told them about issues like that with cars, and they actually fixed them, which is pretty cool. I messaged Fergus personally and told him about them, so yeah, he fixed them. Let's see how... This bike had some problems as well with white taillights, and it looks like they're fixed. Look at that. They look so good now. This car was another one of those, this car, why do I keep calling it a car? It's a bike. This bike had the same issue. Now they're white, red taillights instead of white, but before. Fergus actually, like, personally messaged me back later as well, saying, like, I'll get a guy to look at this, and yeah, that was a weird bug right there. But yeah, this car also had kind of white/pink taillights, and that's not the case anymore. It looks a lot better. And each car now has like individual brightness lights, so now you can distinguish between the brake lights and just normal parking lights. that was an issue from the first game as well, and I told Fergus about that to fix that. Same with the headlights, you could distinguish between low and high beam function. Now you can in this game, which looks pretty good. And what else is there? The Huracan, actually, I'll show you the Huracan real quick. I'll take it for a quick test drive. As you can see, now has a working digital parts to the gauge. That's one thing that the players actually requested, which is pretty nice that they actually fixed that. It sounds pretty nice, actually. Listen to that. Listen to the exhaust crackles. Yes, I know the engine sounds are kind of quiet for you guys. It's because, frankly, I didn't want to, like, be, I wanted so that you guys can hear me a little bit better. Oh, the crackles sound so nice. But yes, the Huracan, there's like quite a few vehicles that have actually had their gauges updated. Not every single vehicle has had their gauges updated. They have like digital parts to them now. I think the Viper now has a working digital speedometer, where before it would say 0 miles an hour in the first game, which I guess that's kind of nice that they took the time to do that. I'll actually take it for a quick test drive and I'll show you. As you can see, that is the case. Now I'll quit out of there. You saw there for a second, it works. So that'll make some players happy. The SLS actually has the same exact treatment as well. It has like working speedometer now and gear indicator and everything. I don't know why the textures look so low quality. I'll report that as a bug to the developers so they can fix it as soon as possible. I just realized the gauge says that the temperature is 235 degrees Celsius. And that's not oil temperature, that's outside temperature. But yeah, there's a clock, there looks like there's an odometer as well, and a gear indicator and everything. So yeah, they got all cars like this had like details fixed as well. I'll show you here as well real quick. With the SLS, that white taillights bug is now fixed, and the taillights actually look really nice. There's no light bleed anymore on the vehicles and so forth. So great job to the developers for fixing that. The 8C also now has some digital aspects to it. It has an odometer, a clock, and well, a gear indicator. I won't show that, but you guys can take a look at that as well in the final build of the game. But take my word for that, they did actually fix that. But as you can see, now they also fixed this car. This was the notorious car with the white taillights, but now they fixed it, and look at how nice it looks. Looks very, very proper and looks very, very good. This one doesn't have additional gauges inside of it. So actually, I'll just show you the 8C with its working gauge parts. As you can see, there's the gear indicator. I don't know if there's actually a clock, actually. I take it back, probably. Let me actually get in the car real quick and I'll see if there is actually a working clock. Yeah, there's a working clock. And an odometer. Yeah, they got everything working in this car, which is pretty cool. One before it looked like that, just said drive all the time. But yeah, they did some pretty interesting stuff as well. Here's the Gran Turismo S, they added some stuff. There's now a gear indicator, as you can see, and basically a working rev counter as well. Digital working rev counter. Yeah, I think you guys get the point what I mean by that. And another notorious car as well that had problems before. The Alfa Romeo 4C now has working gauges. Although the RPM gauge is a little laggy, kind of. Doesn't update like all the time. It's still weird that the textures are like super low quality outside of the dealership. Hopefully they'll like fix that. I'll report that as a bug to them. You can see clearly that the textures are kind of messed up. In fact, I think the interior view changes from the dealership to that. Yeah, let's try and remember that. Does it change? Yeah, it changes a little bit. Look at that. It's a little bit closer in the dealership than it is, well, outside of it. Maybe so that you can see all the details of the car and how they work. But regardless, the low quality textures and the gauges are a little bit annoying. But that's not too big of a deal right now. I mean, the game's still in beta. They have another month to polish this all up before it's all said and done. New Focus RS. The X6M didn't really have any changes. Actually, did they fix the paddle shifters? Thankfully here I can, like, check that by getting in the vehicle and looking around. Yep, they fixed the paddle shifters. And it sounds pretty proper too. Very nice. Now, real quick, where is it? Oh yeah, I had to listen to, well, okay, let's have a listen to the 300 SLR. Before, this thing had like a high revving V8 sound, but now it doesn't anymore. Sounds a lot more proper now. Sounds like a proper inline engine, and not exactly an inline 8 engine, but I think that's basically as close as you can get to that sound. Here's actually the Charger. The Charger sounded pretty good in the first game, but in the second game, oh, y'all have to listen to this. I understand that's hard to hear. Take my word for it, it sounds really good. It's kind of quiet. I feel it's a little too quiet. Maybe they could like amplify it up a little bit in the final build of the game. But yeah, I'm stretching the video out a little bit too far, to be honest. But yeah, I think you guys get the point. Oh, I forgot this thing has like suicide doors. Pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. I don't know what I'll be doing next. That's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.